Good morning. It's Saturday morning, the 15th of March. I wanted to do a short follow up video after the rather lengthy video I did yesterday, and I'm going to show you a few things that you need to be aware of and to change. I'm not going to read the disclaimer. This is just a follow up. You know what's in here. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to point out is that HCSI, and you probably already know this, we do not have the symbol for the NASDAQ composite because the provider wanted an outrageous fee just to track that symbol. So what I've come up with is, or what I found is the NASDAQ ETF, which is ONEQ, and I'm comparing this to let's open this up and get an arrow going. I'm comparing this to the bar chart version of the NASDAQ composite. So here's HCSI, of course, and here's bar chart over here. Now the colors are different. I just use a single color for my bar charts rather than green and red, and you can see that the patterns are pretty much nearly identical. Not perfect, I'll be the first to admit that, but pretty close. So I suggest that you use this symbol if you want the NASDAQ composite. Now the numbers over here, these are the actual numbers here on the bar chart, and you can always go to bar chart and look at this if you want to, but these numbers mean nothing over here. But I'm looking at the pattern and I'm looking at the volume. Pretty similar. This is going to be ETF volume here. This is going to be the actual NASDAQ volume, but at least it's something we can work with. Now I want to point out, going to the designer, in the Market Insight ETFs, here is a symbol right here. In the Major Market Plus includes ETFs. I put the symbol in here also, NASDAQ Composite ETF, and Major ETF and ETNs, I put it in here. What I want you to do is I want you to go into my views and click on Ron Brown top-down analysis charts, and I want you to delete them. Because when your charts come up after installation, you're going to see that looks like I've got too many ones in here. I'll fix that before you download it. But what I did is I suggested using this ETF for any of the NASDAQ analysis charts. Okay, I paused the video and I fixed this. Now there's 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Anyway, these can all be used with the groups over here, the major market indexes. Starting, you can do it, let me close this. You can do it with the Market Insight ETFs or the Major Markets Plus, and I'm just going to show you that it's in here. And when I go to the top-down analysis charts, the market charts, you can see that the ONEQ is here, and you can use it. We do have the NASDAQ internal data, just not the index, and we have the NYSE data too, so you can see the internals in here. You can see the big shift yesterday on advancing versus declining stocks and advancing versus declining volume. So any of these now that are labeled, use that index, you use it. All of Ian's charts are in here. You use those with the NYSE, so nothing's changed there. Just remember, you have to delete your current market charts just under the 2025 charts. Just delete that altogether and then install, and then you'll have the latest charts. While I'm in the designer, I want to point out that in my market analysis user groups, if you go down here to number 4, I renamed this. It was a little bit confusing. It's HDSI sectors and specialized indexes. And I'm going to go into the warehouse view. And I am currently in top-down market analysis. But I'm going to go down here to the top-down process views for HDSI generated indexes, because these are all generated by HDSI. If the symbol says index, that means they're generated by the software. Okay, I'm currently in the HDSI sectors and specialized indexes. You can see quantum computing was up 18.9% yesterday, followed by artificial intelligence stocks and so on. Now, these lists may not be complete. This is what I have, but if you go down into the indexes, you can see what's in there, and you can see that D-Wave was up 47%, and you can see that it was coming up back here with a volume pocket pivot. It also had the no supply strength coming in, effort to rise here, and then the big gap up yesterday. It's overbought right now, but these specialized indexes, you can make an index out of anything. These are what I have right now. If you want to see everything that's in the market analysis user groups, just go in there and look up and down the list. Now here's the NVIDIA spider web and stocks. All of these companies contribute to NVIDIA in some way. So if I click through to the warehouse, you can see where the strength was yesterday in these different indexes. Now I'm going to change to the index group, and there's just a couple servers in here. And there may be more, but that's what I have. I took this off of some information that was posted several months ago and just built these indexes. If you look at this column right here, you can see how many securities are in these indexes. Now, everything combined, there are 38 of them, but these are all broken down. In the semiconductors, there's 8, and you go top down and you can see what they are. Now, I don't want this video to be very long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my major market indexes updated weekly. These are in the market analysis user groups, and I'm going to click through. This is a top-down view, and we can see the SOX was up, according to equal dollar weighting, remember that, was up 3.5% yesterday, beginning of the week 1.5, but over 21 days it's down 11.1%. Now, it closed in the upper 3/4 of its range. Volume was 3.9% above average based upon the 90-day moving average, and you can see that these trends are still all down. Now, whether yesterday was just a short covering rally or the beginning of something, we'll just have to wait and see next week. But it certainly was a powerful move. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go, I'll use the S&P 1500 because it covers the 400, the 600, and the 500 combined into a single index, and it'll give us a pretty good idea of where we stand after yesterday. Now I'm going to go up into the HDSI index charts. I went through these yesterday, but let's go through them again. And I'll just leave this chart up here, but I'll make this full screen. Now you can see that the A distribution turned down. We're still in E distribution, but the A did not turn up. It's just flat. And the A plus B turned down slightly, but the A plus B here turned up slightly because we had this change from red to green in an abrupt change. But notice that the volume wasn't anywhere close to the selling volume. So we'll see what happens next week. Now, I'm going to drop down here to I'll move this up here. I'm going to drop down to the next view. And here you can start seeing some movement. You can start seeing that the B's have turned up. The A's are flat. The B's have turned up. The E's have gone down. The C's are flat. And the D's are still going up because accumulation distribution is flowing between these A, B, C, D, and E. The market was so broken down that there were a lot of E distribution stocks. Okay, let's go down another level here. This one I don't use as much. I just have it in here because it's got the Chaikin in here, and the AD velocity, the red, and the AD is the green, and you can see that they're both moving up. Pay most attention to the AD, the green line, the velocity. I'm not really quite sure how that calculates, to tell you the truth, but I just put it there, and then you'll see a crossover line here when the distribution is really changing from B to C to D. Okay, here's the AD advanced decline line. Look over here at the left. Huge advanced decline number, 11.04, 1369 to 124. That's 91.21% advancing, 8.26 declining. 1,245 is the difference. And look at the volume here. 10 to 1 day to the upside, which is massive. Okay, moving on down. This is a percent above the 20, 30, 50, and 200, and you can see they all turned up. As of yesterday, or I'm sorry, Thursday, this is where they were, and you can see that there is some money flowing in now. These numbers are much higher than yesterday. If you, well, let's see if I can do this, an alternate I, and click on yesterday. And the percent above the 50, or the 20, I'm sorry, was 12.06, and it's now 21.79. Above the 30 was 15.39, jumped up to 22.58. Percent above the 50, 25.2, 24.8, and you're not going to probably get much movement on above the 200. Let's see, am I still, I'm on the wrong day here. Anyway, I'm not going to spend time on that. You can do that yourself. Just alternate A, or alternate I, I'm sorry. Alternate I lets you toggle that on and off. Okay, moving on down. Potential buy-sell signals. Here's what we have on the 1500. We know it was more than a 5 to 1 day to the upside. So let me bring the arrow up here. So dark green, more than a 5 to 1 day on advancers. Okay, this is volume. This is advancers versus decliners, both green. The force 13 was not triggered, so we are not getting a dark green buy signal like over here. But the force 2-day turned positive and the VPOC turned positive, and consequently it's a yellow bar, which means a potential buy. We'll see if this improves next week, but with such a strong day, these are going to generate signals. Now you can see where we are as far as the market dynamics and market structure. The 3 is still above the 6, the green's below the red, so you have to take that into account. The trend is still down in the short term. If we have another day like yesterday, it'll probably turn up. This is the same thing without the moving averages. Here's the AD line. You can see it's turned up the percent above the 50. The trends, bright red, still down. Okay, here's the information again. This is up here in a separate window. I put this together just to get a quick read on direction. So, and these are all warehouse fields. You can see that in the S&P 1500 that the accumulation is only 1% for A, 11.2% for B. Most of it, the concentration is still down here in D. Okay, moving on. Expansion, contraction. Here's that 13-day force index. You can see that it's been beaten down so far that it needs to cross this line. But another good day should do it. And here you can see that the 2 did go above the line. The indexes, or the expansion, contraction, trends are still down, all 3 of them down. Another good day will pop this 3 above the 6. Here's a McClellan oscillator. It turned up. Summation did not. This is lags, of course, and like I said in yesterday's video, I really don't use this much, but it's just nice to get a visual. And this big red spike up here, this is advancing issues over declining issues for 11.01. It's 4. So big spike up on the advancing volume versus the declining. This is the another accumulation chart. And finally, here is a weekly chart with accumulation acceleration. Now, this is still, well, this flattened out on the weekly. So anyway, the charts I use most are the first, I would say down through 8. I pay particular attention to 5 and 6, but I do look at the others. Now I'm going to stop this video right here. I just wanted you to take a look at the market the way I look at it a day after a big move. Oh, I changed my mind. I'm going to do one more thing. Let me go to a different chart though. I'll just go to a daily chart here. Let's go into the S&P 1500, change to the index group. I'm going to sort on percent industry price change. Going to go to the top. And I just want to see where the strength was, and you can see that it was computer hardware and storage, which came to the top, and these stocks over here, everything here is in the S&P 1500, followed by engine and transmission, security services, and then semiconductors. If you want to see which ones close the strongest, all you have to do is go in here and type in the word range. Sort. And now we go to computer hardware and you look down at this range column. It shows which ones close the strongest. Supermicro, notice that it crossed over 3 days ago. Let's bring it up. Still doesn't look that great, does it? Let's just go to a chart without any moving averages, and you can see strength coming in a test, effort to rise. It did move up. It still doesn't look that great on the daily chart. And look at the volume. The volume really fell off yesterday. That's surprising. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening and have a good week. We'll see what Monday brings.